let's go back to AI, if you don't mind. So you were involved in the project that Sam Altman runs now, OpenAI?
I was one of the principal co-founders of OpenAI. In fact, I named it.
Yeah. So what the hell happened?
It was my idea.
What happened?
Well, I started off. The origins of OpenAI are that I was very close with Larry Page, who's one of my best friends, and in fact, I'd stay at his house because I'd spend half the week in the Bay Area running Tesla and half in LA running SpaceX. And for the longest time, I never even had a house in the Bay Area. I would just stay at friends' places. If they had a spare room, I'd stay there. If they didn't, I'd sleep on the couch. And I found it actually to be
I think it's very funny that you stayed on the couch. I think that's very funny.
Yeah. I don't stay on the couch that often, but it was. But I didn't have a house for more than a decade, so I would just rotate through friends' places, which is a great way to catch up with friends.
Yeah, right. Right.
And so I would have these conversations with Larry Page long into the night about AI safety, and I just grew increasingly concerned that Larry was not sufficiently concerned about AI safety. And at one point, he did call me a speciesist.
Yes, you are one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's, I guess, correctly labeled.
Yes.
And
it's kind of like
he fully admits there were other people around when he did that, and nor does he attempt to deny it. That I'm a speciesist in favor of humans instead of
as
machines.
Lice compared to lice, for example.
Well, no, more like relative to digital intelligence.
Oh, yeah, that's even worse.
His view was that we'll all be essentially upload our minds to computers, and then humans, there won't really be a need for humans. And I thought that was. I was like, what team are you on, Larry?
Hard on the humans there.
Right. What team are you on? And I said, we really need to make sure humanity thrives and grows. And then he called me a speciesist for saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I guess I am, pro-human. What are you?
Right. That's the question.
Yeah.
If you're not pro-human, that's not nothing. Right? That's something else. You're pro-something.
I think it's a crazy thing to not be pro-human. I mean, if humans are not going to be on Team Human, who is? So that was the final straw, really, and I was like, okay, we really need some new AI company to serve as a counterbalance to Google, because at the time they had almost all of the great AI researchers. They had massive computing power, massive financial resources, and it was very much a unipolar world with respect to AI.
Right.
And a unipolar world controlled by Larry Page and who had, I thought, somewhat misanthropic views about humans, or at least certainly insufficiently concerned about what might happen to the humans. So that was the basis for creating OpenAI. Now,
yeah, that's actually a real problem. Like insufficiently concerned with the humans, that's a problem.
Yes, and has all the AI power. So
yeah, right.
That troubled me, and so I thought, well, what would be the opposite of Google? Would be a nonprofit that is open source, so you can see what's going on, not a black box.
Yeah.
And that was not wasn't forced by sort of market incentives to make as much money as possible. So OpenAI was started as a nonprofit open source. And the open in OpenAI refers to open source.
Yeah. So why were you concerned about the profit motive warping things at that point?
Well, at least, I think this perhaps is particularly a challenge for publicly traded companies. You just get sued if you don't maximize profits. Mm-hmm. The shareholders, you'll get a shareholder class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
That will force you to maximize profits.
Yeah. So you thought a for-profit system might tilt the development of AI in directions that were short-term profit motivated instead of cracking the fundamental problem. Something like that. Yeah,
and look, I could be wrong about a lot of these things, but that's what I thought at the time, and I wanted to create something that I thought would be the polar opposite of Google, which is obviously a for-profit and closed source,
centralized,
centralized, and you don't get to see what's going on, and that was the basis for OpenAI, and we recruited a lot of key people. I was instrumental in recruiting Ilya Sutskever, who, without him, OpenAI would not be where it is today.
Elias?
Yeah, Ilya Sutskever. Ilya.
He'd be a good
pretty famous guy in AI. And Ilya's also the guy that I thought at OpenAI, who had the strongest moral compass, cared the most about doing the right thing. So it was troubling to see him get ousted from OpenAI. He sort of was part of a coup to exit Sam Altman, the CEO.
Yeah, right.
And when that coup somehow got turned around, and then Ilya was in fact exited from OpenAI, and OpenAI is now really trying to maximize profit.
What happened?
I still am not sure.
Guess.
And I'm considering legal action here to say, like, how is it possible that that an organization is founded with the goal of being open source, nonprofit, and I provided almost all the money in the beginning, almost $50 million to get it going, with no stock. I have no stock or control or anything, and how is it possible to go from there to a company that's now allegedly worth over $100 billion, and seems to be maximizing profit, and is
it's a hell of a shift,
and it's not open source.
right?